We're back on Arizona Business Spotlight. I'm Helen Gibson. Thank you for joining me today on Verde Valley TV. Joining me in studio right now is Michele Evans, CEO of Abide Maternity Home. Welcome, Michele.
Thank you, Helen.
You know, so excited. This is the grand opening week, correct?
Yes, we are very excited. We had 2 girls move in on Monday to the home, girls who had nowhere else to go.
Yes.
And they're there with their babies, and we're getting started.
Well, I'm a mom of 4, so this really is a subject close to my heart. And I think of young girls or it could be single women who are pregnant and don't have a place to go.
Right.
And you are a solution to the problem.
Right.
So Abide Maternity Home is something that is needed in the community, and we as business owners, individuals, volunteers, we need to get behind what you're doing. So tell us a little bit about Abide Maternity Home. Where is it located? How can people get involved? How long has this vision been going?
Yeah, thank you. And exactly what you said is what we're looking for and experiencing, is the community getting behind what we're doing, because we're into a changed life for these moms. And so our goal is to help them all the way through, from the things they haven't learned maybe in a dysfunctional home perhaps that they grew up in, or maybe they didn't have a home. We have one mom right now who grew up in foster homes and group homes, grew up that way. So she's never known a family. She doesn't know how family should work. She doesn't know how to be part of pulling your weight in a family, how to work through conflict, how to budget, how to plan a meal. So all of those things, along with parenting and job skills and just everything that you think of when you consider growing up, from being born up until you're 18, potentially you leave home, all of those things your parents taught you. And some of these girls have never had any of that. And so that's what we're trying to do, is condense that all down now and help them get on their feet.
It's such a huge vision, you know, and it's systemic, what we see in society right now. And when we see young people that go astray or whatever situation, you always think, I wonder what happened. But everything you just said, not having a stable home life, not having mentorship, not having coping skills. And especially when your body goes through the hormone change of being pregnant, you really need a support system behind you.
Right, and we were honestly concerned before we started the ministry about how we would handle some of the stories we knew we would probably hear of things that people do that are, we think that's crazy. Why would you do that? For example, one mom that we have, she has had 5 kids and only has custody of 1, because the other 4 have gone into CPS custody because of her drug use. And so in the past, I think I might have been a little judgmental about how could you maybe live that lifestyle and lose your children. But then we learned her backstory, which is that her mother started trafficking her at 5 years old, started her using drugs at an early age. And so you realize that everyone has a story, and there's a reason why people end up where they end up.
Right. So Abide Maternity Home, and you also have Anna House. And what is the function? Anna House is the home where the pregnant, it's usually unwed mothers?
Yes.
Can come?
So yeah, right. We have a resource center which operates on kind of an outpatient. It's not a medical facility, but we term it that way, just to give the idea that people generally come in once a week, for example, and they take a parenting class, and they have, maybe they need parenting, maybe they need some job skills class, and so they pick where they need help the most, and they do that once a week, and for that they earn baby bucks where they can buy things they need, like diapers or car seats, things. So that's a resource center in Camp Verde. And then we also have a thrift shop, which is very handy for us with extra donations. That's all donated stuff, and
that's something else where people can get involved. And you have your website that we can go to is AbideMaternityHome.com. AbideMaternityHome.com. There it is, right there on your screen. Write it down. You know, I think if going grocery shopping, pick up a few extra package of diapers and drop them off for you. You know, is there a list on the website that we can see things that you need, baby beds that we can, things that we can donate?
Yeah, thank you. We are working on a list right now. We have a list going, and we also have a couple of registries that we thought that might be handy for people.
Absolutely.
So we'll be putting that up on our website in the next week or 2. And so, but it's basically, we have a functioning home. You asked about Anna House, which is the actual live-in residential facility. So anything you need for your home, we probably need for our home too. And so a lot of easy ways to contribute.
And how many people can be at Anna House at any given time?
We have room for 4 moms and their kids.
And you have 2 that moved in this week.
2 that moved in this
Yay,
week.
hi, they'll be watching.
Yeah.
We celebrate you. We're
Hi,
here for
guys.
you. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting.
So it is great. It's really good. But there's so much need out there, and we anticipate having a waiting list, honestly, within a month.
Well, you know, you're a solution to the problem, and so many times this is a special Arizona Business Spotlight where it's focused on faith. And faith by meaning, you know, doing God's business in ministry or church. And you hear a lot of times people speak out against Roe versus Wade, the whole abortion epidemic. But when these girls don't feel like they have a place to go, if they don't have support from their family, where are they going to go? But here's an example of somebody of faith stepping up and building a home.
Right.
And 4 might not sound like a lot, but it makes a big difference for those 4 little babies that are coming into the world.
Yes, and statistically, babies who come into a homeless family are more likely to be homeless themselves. So the idea is to break that cycle.
Right.
And so what our desire was in starting Abide was to interrupt that process, and also to be a next step for people who have maybe considered abortion because they didn't think they had a choice, as far as they didn't have the means to raise a child. But then if they realize that, yeah, there is a community that will get behind you, and here's how we can do that. We can offer you a place to live. I know that part of my story is that my mom at 19 years old was raped, and she was encouraged to have an abortion because she was single, she was young, and she had no means to support me. But thankfully, that was not her decision, and the community of faith at that time really surrounded her and helped her do that. And so otherwise I wouldn't be here today.
Right. And we are so thankful that your mom made that choice to choose life.
Thank you. Me too.
You know, and I believe that there's a lot of people watching right now that may not have the time, so to speak, but this is a passion of theirs too, and they're applauding that somebody is finally doing something. So I know that we could go onto your website and become a partner financially.
Yes.
So people, if they can't donate their time or resources, they can give financially.
Yes.
But I'm seeing like maybe there's a construction company out there that wants to partner with you and build another wing on so you can have 2 more girls. You know, like I'm doing a shout out right now to Verde Valley to get behind Abide Maternity Home. Here is a solution. People that are dedicating their lives through their faith to make a difference. So I encourage you to get behind them financially or resources. Everybody can do something.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I'm offering my airtime right now.
Yeah.
Verde Valley TV. We took Arizona Business Spotlight and the support from Yavapai Broadcasting to do shows like this of faith and to focus in on that. And you are in God's business. So this is a great call on your life. And you know, there's a thing called tribulation faith, and we go through things so we can turn around and help somebody else.
Right.
So your story and your journey shows that God does not make mistakes.
Right.
And He's the creator.
Yeah. And we all have a story.
Yes.
And what we find so often is that people who are inclined and motivated to volunteer with us, it's because they have some kind of story that relates. Maybe they've had an abortion in the past. Maybe they were a single mom. Maybe their mom was, you know, just in difficult circumstances, and they had great respect for her and want to pay back. Or there's so many reasons. And what we like to tell everyone when they say, "What do you need? What can I do?" Well, we have these 3 ways, 3 locations. And so anything you like to do, any way that you like to plug in, we can probably do that.
It's always just about paying it forward. And I know that we all say we're so busy and there's so much going on, but even an hour, you know, sorting through things at the New Life thrift shop, which is that in Camp Verde as well. So right next, Anna House, you know, maybe helping with cleaning or donations. But again, that list, you know, going onto the website, go to the website and check it weekly. But I encourage you to become a partner either financially or with your time or with your resources. Or if you're doing spring cleaning and need to move some stuff out, I'm sure that the New Life thrift shop would be glad to take the material, and then they can resell it.
Yeah, and not only that, it's not really intended to be a profit venture so much as a space where we can offer job training to our girls living in the home. And so we have a manager at the thrift shop, and she's got a lot of experience and a real heart to teach these girls how to run a retail outlet like that. And also then the girls will work at the shop. They can bring their babies with them to sort things. And so it gives them a real good place to plug in.
You have a book in you, you realize that. This is a model. It could be a franchise, you know, Abide Maternity Home. And I hope to see one in every city in every state of this nation to help young girls that need a helping hand. You also are a blogger, which is really important for businesses in social media to connect with information. And I read one of your blogs, and it's on the website so people can go. And it's called, Do We Really Need a Maternity Home? Do we really need a maternity home, Michele?
We do. Sadly, we do. Because I thought about this so many times, and I've been through hard times. You've been through hard times, right?
Yes.
And so we all know what that's like, maybe down on money, lost a job, different things. But the difference between me and some of the girls we deal with is that I have people, you know? And that's the hugest thing, is that some of these girls don't have people. So that's when we need a maternity home. And so unfortunately we do, but fortunately we have one. And up until opening, we have been receiving calls weekly from people looking for a spot from as far as New York. So there's a shortage across the country.
Really, and I go back to thinking this is a model so we could get corporate sponsored donations. Other churches that may not have a maternity home can support yours so that you can build out. You're willing to do the work. They just need to pitch in with resources and volunteerism. Here's a great cause with Focus on Faith that you can get behind. Go out and check their website, become a partner, read the newsletter, the blogging, and other services you provide. You talked about women that have incurred abortions. You have healing classes.
Right. We have a great class for abortion healing. We had one woman go through it who had had an abortion 65 years ago and carried that the whole time. You know, people think about it every day, have regrets. Every anniversary they mourn that loss. And so it's important to deal with that, go through the emotions and process all of that and really just surrender it.
And so they can connect with that. So we encourage you to do that. Choose Life, Abide Maternity Home here on Arizona Business Spotlight, a very special Focus on Faith. Michele, thank you, and to Patty as well for being part. We'll have you back on again.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Arizona Business Spotlight in just a moment.
Orkin has pest control down to a science.
When your business chooses Orkin's Precision Protection Program, you get a tailored pest control program for your specific industry and environment.
Your business can benefit from over a century of experience, training, and scientific knowledge that define the Orkin man.
Maximum protection, minimum exposure, backed by one of the industry's most comprehensive guarantees.
Choose your locally owned and operated Northern Arizona Orkin and get more than an exterminator. Get an expert.
Back on Arizona Business Spotlight. What an amazing Focus on Faith show. I loved it. Thank you, God. Remember, you can and you will dream big. We'll see you next time here on Arizona Business Spotlight. I'm Helen Gibson for Verde Valley TV. See you next time.